Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know that I'm enjoying this daylight savings. My daughter has to be on the bus at 6:30 in the morning, so any extra sleep I can get, I am here for it. And is it me or is time just going by fast? Like, you telling me it's already the month of Thanksgiving and next month is Christmas, and this time of year, y'all, is expensive for me because my youngest two children's birthdays are at this time and my boyfriend's birthday is like 5 days after Christmas. So your girl be coming out of her pocket at this time. But anyways, let's get to the point of this video. So this is Cam Newton on the screen. Some of y'all have seen him on my page before with the viral interview of him and Dr. Bryant. If you don't remember that interview, it's important for this video. So I'm going to show a snippet of it and then I will be back.
Right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
by how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God
about
to
your
bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Bryant, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far, but these families are still broken.
So if you have not watched that full video, definitely check it out. I'm going to pin that interview, the full interview, in the comments below. It is on my page because it's really important when we kind of break down what's going on here in the situation with him and his current relationship. You know, so Dr. Bryant, when she's on there asking him about, like, you know, settling down, relationships, bring up marriage, they talk about having more children, etc. You would think somebody who's in a committed relationship would acknowledge the fact that he's in a committed relationship. Like, yeah, you know, eventually I do plan on settling down with her, you know, having more children, etc. But he said the complete opposite. He basically said, well, you know, however God brings them to me. Even when she asked him, like, do you want to have more children with the women you already have children with? He said, however God brings them to me. And now it's making more and more sense of his situation that he's in with Jazzy, because now he's trending again because his guest on his most recent interview with his show told him, like, you know, you're not about to tell me that you only effing one woman. And he admitted that, like, no, I've messed with other women since I have been with Jazzy. So now people's like, Jazzy, sweetheart, are you in a certain place? Like, wake up, baby girl, like, wake up. So y'all are going to see the interview that is currently trending, going viral. Y'all going to see people's reactions to it. And then I'm going to give y'all my commentary.
Now, you are not finna tell me you up here. It's not finna happen.
No. See, you're trying to deflect back to me.
No, I would never do you like that.
But
I got respect for you.
No, here.
But you didn't answer that for a reason.
No. Understand this.
You didn't answer for a reason.
I'm going to answer mine, and then I want you to answer mine too.
I will answer it, brother.
Okay. How long are you talking about?
What you mean? What do you mean, how long I'm talking about?
As long as I've been with Jazz, Jazz has not been the only person that I've had sex with.
I don't know your situation.
But I'm getting personal.
Right. I don't know your situation.
Since you want to take it there. And this is the thing that has.
Do you feel like I'm being disrespectful?
No.
Because I'm not trying to be
No,
disrespectful.
no.
Cam Newton is a narcissist and Jasmine is a narcissistic man's dream girl. Cam Newton loves how she doesn't hold him accountable. He loves how he can talk to her about anything and she'll be there regardless of what he does. And I feel like Jasmine's desire to be a people pleaser for him is a trauma response. She feels like loving him unconditionally will get him to change his behavior. But she does not know that when you're dealing with a narcissist, it does not matter how much you love them. It does not matter how much you accept from them. They still have a lot of things they have to work out within themselves. She's thinking that she's showing him love and what unconditional love is, but what she's really doing is enabling his behavior because he feels way too comfortable broadcasting that he is not being faithful to her, knowing that she knows that he's not being faithful to her and he knows that she's not going to go anywhere. So that is enabling his narcissistic behavior because she is not holding him accountable, meaning he's not going to ever feel any shame and want to change his behavior. If a narcissistic man gets comfortable with telling you the truth, knowing that you're going to love him regardless, knowing he can come in whenever he feels like it, knowing he can do whatever he wants, you're still going to be like, oh, I love you, here's your food, I'll rub your feet and do all of that. They will not change their behavior. They're going to love you for it. Not the love that you're thinking of, not the good kind of love. They're going to love you because they're able to take advantage of you and they're able to dwell in their narcissistic behavior comfortably because you're not making them uncomfortable. And when a narcissistic person is comfortable, they're not going to change. What's really going to happen is he's going to drag her along through all of his narcissism for years and years and years until he gets tired of it and decides to change and be a better man. But by the time he changes and wants to be a better man, she's going to be over it and she's going to have resentment.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a beautiful, low-functioning woman.
I'm a stepmom. I'm a girlfriend. I'm a life partner. I'm like a helpmate, but I'm also a career woman. I'm also an actress, a comedian, a writer. Yes. Like I do all the things, but
Jasmine Brown is lost, and I feel so bad for sis because she seemed like such a good woman. I mean, literally well-rounded, put together, good morals, good goals, just with the wrong person. You're not a stepmom because by law, you're not even married to the man, another responsibility and role you've taken on. You're not a life partner because he literally said he's still searching for his wife, so you're a temporary partner. And though you can do any and everything that a man could ever want and need, he gonna still be looking for his person. And this is not an assumption that we're making. It came out of his own mouth. Will her child have an amazing mother? Most definitely. But will the message that she be sending that child be good? Probably not.
seeing Jazzy become the very woman that she has so much smoke for. She has so much smoke for women who society would deem a bird, right? Women who are doing the exact same thing that she's doing with Cam Newton. She has so much smoke for them. So much smoke for them. While cheating does not have to be her line. Definitely understand that. I don't agree, you know what I'm saying? But I understand that's not your line. What should be your line is you getting online on your podcast with the top of your top hat missing and dreads sticking out, sprouting out, telling the public that I'm not the only person that you've been since we've been together. Because why do you think that needs to be a conversation? Why? How much do you want to embarrass me? How much do you want to put me through so you can see what I'll put up with? That's really all this is. When you make excuses for someone's poor behavior and how they treat you, all you're doing is showing them what you will accept. And at this point, Cam Newton owns Jazzy. He owns Jazzy. I don't care what you say. You can try to make this sweet and deep and woke. There's nothing woke about it. That man owns her because he got on that podcast and said however many viewers to see it, and she still went home and scratched that nigga's back and made plates and dinner for all of those children and her man. And she feels like that is the prize. Do you really feel like that's a prize? Or do you just feel like you in this now so you leaning in? And if you leaning in, that's commendable. But girl,
if letting my man cheat in peace was a person so I can continue to live a certain lifestyle by a man who voluntarily dresses like Willy Wonka, is diabolical. And it's very apparent that they have an arrangement. But don't be disrespectful about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't don't throw it in my face on a platform for the world to see. You know? Poor thing keep getting on the Instagram stories, talking about people DMing her, checking on her, and how they don't have secrets. Girl, just take us out the group chat. Please. Because this is getting out of hand. Then you had a daughter. What type of example are we setting? It's just I don't know, y'all.
I think Jazz is doing the Lord's work, if you ask me. I need her to stay locked in with this man, okay? And be the best dummy she can be. Because I don't need another woman to experience this man. We don't need him back in the damn streets, all right? Somebody's got to be the dummy, and Jazz took one for the team. Shout out to you, girl.
Now, before I get started on my specific opinion and breakdown of what's going on here, I want y'all to see a couple things, and I need to speak about a couple things. I seen a couple stances on this. One person was like, "Oh, little do y'all know, Jazzy know what she's doing. She's playing him, etc." Right? So that's one stance. And then the second stance I seen is, "Oh, I just feel so sorry for her. You know, like she just truly loves him, and she doesn't know that he's playing her. And I just feel so bad for her. And you know, we shouldn't laugh at other people's, you know, pain because we have all been there, and you know, blah blah blah." Right? Okay, so those who think that, which I'm not saying that I totally disagree with it, but those who think that, I want you to keep that same energy, because I'm about to show y'all a couple of clips, and these are going to be clips from Watch Jazzy before she met him, during, and after she got pregnant. Okay, so I want y'all to see this. Okay.
Pick-me's are women who try to do everything right just so a man can choose me. Yeah, cut that out. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. Men already know what they want in a woman and who they want. But if you're so nurturing and you're an asset and it's not you, they'll never tell you to stop doing what you're doing because it's beneficial. And I don't want to hear none of it like, "Oh, I'm just a nice person. I'm genuinely like that." You're going to genuinely get played.
Submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. Boy, it is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
If y'all don't know, I'm the third one, and this is his sixth child. Someone said, "Ooh, right, couldn't have been me." All right, till a rich nigga put that pressure on you. I could never be with nobody. Okay, until $100 million nigga start putting the pressure on you, you don't know what you'll be. Talking about what you'll never be. You ain't never had. Oh, you better than me. I am.
Y'all see why I showed y'all that, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. First thing first, no direct judgment or shade towards Jazzy. If Jazzy is truly happy being in the position that she is in with Cam, then kudos to her. If she loves it, then I love it for her. If she's genuinely and true-heartedly happy, but I don't love it for the people who are involved in that situation, and I'm going to get into that a little later. But no judgment towards her. She is obviously a beautiful woman, you know, pretty face, pretty skin, pretty hair, pretty body. She's gorgeous, you know, and she knows she's, you know, I feel like she knows her worth, you know, and it's either one or two things. Like, either you lied about how women should stand on them and you never really believed that, or number two, you just not genuinely, truly being yourself with Cam, but because of the money, you're still there. So the main point of this discussion and why I see a lot of people speaking about this specific situation is not to get into their business that they already put out there on blast, but it's more to speak on the problems that we have in our current society and community of creating broken homes. Now, why are we speaking about broken homes? Broken homes statistically have shown to have worse outcomes for children growing up in them versus a children growing up in a healthy two-parent active household. Now, I hear some people say, oh, well, I grew up with both my parents and, it's not always like you think it is and blah, blah, blah. I said a two-parent healthy active household statistically shows better outcomes. That doesn't mean two low-functioning toxic parents raising their children together. It does not mean that just because a parent is physically in the household that he's not there mentally and emotionally. It means two healthy, and I mean healthy as in physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, etc., parents raising their children, okay? Those tend to have better statistic outcomes versus single parent households, point blank, period, okay? So because of that, women, like people like me anyway, who truly care about this, we try to just educate people on this topic so that we can stop putting ourselves in these situations. And when I say this, again, it's no judgment, no bash, because I'm speaking to my younger self. Like most of y'all who have watched my content, who are familiar with me, you know that I also am a single mother of 3. I was married to the father of my children for 5 years. It was a on and off toxic relationship for many, many years. So I'm talking to myself when I say that. We can use our own experiences to learn from and teach others, hopefully so that the younger generation or the next generation or people in general don't make the same mistakes. And not just women, but men as well. So y'all can real deal understand the effects of the children that you are creating as well in these broken homes and the effects of that as well, okay? So that's the whole main point, all right? Now, with that being said, we have to learn to play our part in not creating these broken homes. And when that part is played by Jazzy, I'm just trying to figure out what happened because as y'all see in her old content, sis, you was a big advocate on women standing on their business when it comes to relationships in these men. You said to stand on us, like don't let them use us, like, and she specifically said, like, don't come to me saying like, oh, I'm just naturally a nurturing person. It's just in my personality. Like, no, sis, he's going to use you, blah, 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 right? So where is that same energy? How do you become the epitome of literally what you said for us not to be? Cam Newton has, this is the second time that he has publicly he has multiple times. I correct myself. Multiple times he has bluntly and blatantly put out his business with Jasmine, talking about he has messed around on her, talking about how he still wants children and he's still looking, not even saying that she's going to be the woman to continue to bear his children. He's out here still looking. He don't even care to really at this time, like settle down, get married, etc. because he still has not found the quote unquote right woman yet. So that's like a slap in Jazzy's face because she's the one who's been in a relationship with him for years, living with him and everything, and let her tell it, oh, I'm a stepmom and, I just scratch his back to sleep and I make his lunches and I do all this kind of stuff, right? All of these wifely duties without being a wife, and there's nothing wrong with that because I know that you have to be a wife in order to become a wife. You have to first be a wife, okay? But there's a difference between, naturally being nurturing and naturally feminine versus somebody taking advantage of it as well. You have to know as a woman your part when it's time for you to leave, because men will continue to take advantage of it as long as they can. A lot of men, unfortunately, are just scared of marriage. They hear about the bad experience. Instead of thinking about the positive experiences, they think about the bad experiences. And it amazes me that they're so quick to do a lifelong commitment of having a child with somebody, but terrified of marrying them because of what could go wrong. Like, stuff can't go even worse with having a children. At least when you're done with the marriage, you're done. After all the legal stuff is, when you have a child with somebody, you are tied to them forever. And don't let a lot of these men, and I'm not talking about you high quality, high functioning men, I'm talking about these low vibrational, low functioning men. Don't let a lot of them try to play you and lie to you, acting like they don't know like what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they know that creates ties to you permanently. So here Jazzy is, again, this absolutely gorgeous woman who is not only the third baby mama to his sixth biological child, but also a babysitter / nanny / chef / live-in girlfriend / cleaner. You know what I mean? Like, he has a maid right now. And she looks good on top of that. He has a maid right now because she can't just go out and do what she wants to do, because now she has his last child, who is still pretty young. So it's like she forever has ties to him, and he knows what he was doing with that. So he has this at home where he can still go out and do what he wants, as he has openly admitted at the beginning of this video. Like, he still has messed around with other women while being with Jazz, you know? And she weirdly is okay with that. But I feel like, again, that is a front, you know? Cam is a walking red flag, okay? He is very low functioning, okay? You know, a lot of times as women, like, we be thinking like we can change a man, and then we sometimes get in our ego and oh, well, he treated her that way, he's not gonna treat me this way, right? And sometimes that is the case, depending on a man's age and all of that kind of stuff. It's different if he, you know, maybe was a player in his younger days, like, you know, college, 20s, etc. But like, if his record shows you that he has just created multiple broken homes, sis, please don't think that he's not going to continue to create broken homes, especially, and I hate to throw it out there because I know people be like, oh, you so petty with the zodiac signs. He's a Taurus male. Almost every single Taurus male I know prefer to live like a poly lifestyle. They, for some reason, are like terrified of commitment and settling down. But they be the same ones to have multiple children with multiple women. Okay, just think about the Tauruses you know, and then tell me I'm lying with majority of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And another example of a celebrity besides Cam Newton is Chris Brown, another Taurus. Okay, so it don't help as well that she's a female Taurus, and Tauruses are just freaking stubborn. Okay, even if she knows that she looks crazy, she's not going to say anything because she doesn't want to admit that she knows that she looks crazy. Okay, she is the unfortunate example of a woman selling their soul, because it's one thing if you've always been this way, of just the whole quote unquote sprinkle lifestyle. I'm just here to get the bag, etc. But, you know, even if that was the case, let's be clear. The original OG sugar babies, not this new age sugar babies, but the OG sugar babies, they tell you the first rule of being a sugar baby is to not get attached. It's strictly business, not to have no children. Okay, like, you strictly there to get the bag, and that is all. So you already would have failed that, even if that was your goal. But you clearly stood on the fact that you did not want to become who you currently are now. So that's why it makes me question all that stuff. Like, you clearly sold your soul. And you seen in the stand-up comedy skit that she said, like, oh, you know, yeah, until $100 million nigga put that pressure on you, apply that pressure on you. And sis, you can't speak for all females when it comes to that. Some females still have morals and values no matter how much money a man has. It's only our society and community that thinks it's okay just to create broken homes, and you're not married to him. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much money he has. That's not your money. It's his money. And see how Cam Newton is? It's clear as day that he likes to have control of his assets. So the most you might could get if your baby is still young and small and even breastfeeding is child support. But Cam Newton has custody of all his children. His 6 biological children live with him. So if him and Jazzy don't work out, 9 times out of 10, he's going to try to get custody of the youngest. And then he's just going to replace her with another woman. You know what I mean? So he likes to have control of those assets. Another reason I know that is because his ex, his first baby mama, who's with for many, many years, who also, by the way, wanted him to marry her, but he never did, okay, for many, many years. In recent news, he tried to take her Range Rover back. Now, if y'all have been done for this many years, why do you just now want to take her Range Rover back? You know, you have to think about that kind of stuff. Like, why are you tripping on a car that your ex is driving that you bought for her years ago? Unless y'all still messing around. But a lot of times men like him are possessive of what they consider theirs. So just because these women had children with him, he can see them as still possessions of like, oh, they mine. So I don't want you driving around in a Range Rover pulling up at some dude house or meeting some dude for a date because technically you still mine. You know what I mean? So that's what he gives off to me. All right. Again, you know, just because men have money do not mean they are high value. You know, Cam, clear as day, like I said, he's low vibrational, he's low functioning, and he believes just because he does have money and status, that means that he is a high value man. And yeah, financially, that might be true. However, when it comes to like how you conduct yourself mentally, emotionally, and thinking about what's best for your children, which would be that 2-parent active household, then I would say no. It's one thing if you had one relationship with children and it failed, but to continue to do that, especially when you're in your mid to late 30s, no. I'm sorry, I just can't excuse that behavior. And Jazzy as well. Jazzy is as well in her mid to late 30s. I think she's 35. So it's like, at what point do we look and see what is best for our children? Not us and our ego, but what's best for our children. Are you okay with your children creating broken homes, or would you like them to get married? Because guess what? They're going to be looking at how they were raised and what you did. And you can't expect them to have a certain kind of standard if you didn't show them that standard. It's great. We can pray for it and hope for it, but you were supposed to show them that standard. So statistically, guess what? If you were a baby mama, then statistically your child or children is more likely to become that because they don't see it as a priority to get married before having children because you did. And again, no judgment here. Obviously, I'm a divorced mom of 3, okay? But I'm just saying, we have to start thinking better and making better choices for our children, okay? And I really just don't feel like Jazz is truly wholeheartedly happy. I just feel like she's putting on the front because of her prior content. So let me know what y'all think when it comes to the situation. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one.